First thing you need is obviously the wheel to fit the tyre on. So you drop that into the centre of the clamps. That centres the wheel automatically. Then you want your tubeless valve, which I've lubricated up so it doesn't damage it pulling it through. Lubricate the edge of the tyre and drop the tyre over the rim. Bring the head down over the top of this little shoe here and under there. You just watch, make sure the tyre's located, and that's that. Back on the valve, and now we want to balance the wheel. Put that onto the shaft there. Right, so you measure the distance the wheel is away from the machine, 98. Rim diameter is 14. And press the start button, and that'll take about 6 or 7 seconds to work out how much weight and where to go. And there we are, 75. So turn the wheel till the red dot lights up. Pull the backing off of the sticky weight. That goes on top dead centre there. Press the start button, and assuming I've got it right, it'll read 0. That's it, and that's one wheel done. There we go.
You've heard me say it before, wheels maketh the car, and this car is no exception. Those Rostars look absolutely brilliant. The only wheel that Chris couldn't help me with, of course, is the steering wheel. This was the original beauty, which, frankly, is only suitable for the bin, because it's being replaced by this. Now, is that a gorgeous wheel or what? Drops on its own boss, and it'll sit there like that. I'll put the screws in a second, and then in the centre will go this wonderful MG badge. It's a bit of a tight fit, but it'll sit something like that. The only problem, my legs and arms aren't long enough. There we go. One gorgeous seat and one for me. 4 bolts for each seat, and jobs are good. And look at that! Looks like a proper car now.
This is one of the earliest of MGs. This one is actually 1931, one of the last of the Mark I models. This one is actually known as the Mark I narrow-bodied speed model. They have a straight 6-cylinder engine, 2.5 litres. The restoration on this was actually done in Australia, and my plan when I bought it was to get it back to England to make sure it was in good roadworthy condition and use it as much as I could, which is what I've done for 3 years. The car was bought specifically to drive and enjoy, and it gets used anything from going on continental touring holidays to running down to Tesco's for the shopping. Somebody who has a yearning for a vintage MG has got to be patient. There are so few of them available that trying to find one on the open market is almost impossible. You do actually become one with it. You do feel part of it. And for every hour you put in, I would say that you get sort of 12 hours of fun out of it.
Only a few little jobs left now to complete the restoration. Very exciting. This is one of the jobs left. It's to replace the lenses from the indicators and side lights. This is the original one off the car, which is actually in OK condition and would clean up, but we had to replace the one on the other side because it was broken. When we bought a new one, you can see a completely different colour in the orange. So, unfortunately, we've had to say goodbye to the original, and we've got a matching pair. They have a lovely chrome surround, which is the original chrome surround, and I tell you the difference when you have original chrome, the quality is just so much better than anything you can buy now. Once it's together, it will look fantastic. Just be a bit delicate with these because they could easily snap. As soon as you add some colour on here, this paintwork just looks absolutely brilliant. So to all those people who said to me, Ooh, that's a really dull grey. Looks like primer with a bit of clear coat on. Think again. Ooh, scrumptious. It's the very last job, the grill that basically says, yes, this is a restored MG. It's brand new grill, and it slots in absolutely beautifully. Just a few bolts hold that in place, but that is what we've waited the best part of 6 months for. And doesn't that look absolutely brilliant? Right, that's it for part one. Join me after the break. There's a bit of cleaning to be done, and then my very first test drive. It's going to be fab. Can't wait. Welcome back to An MG is Born, and yes, this is it, the new baby, but you're not allowed to see it in its entirety until I finished polishing it and you've had a good reminder of just what a shed this car was when we brought it back to the workshop just 13 weeks ago. Thank you very much. Thank you. That is horrible. This wing's completely shot. He's going to have a grump on now. Some of the bodywork problems are really obvious. For instance, the front wings, the door skins and the rear wings. Each of the castle rails is completely shot through, particularly at the front here, so the whole of this needs replacing. So we won't be using that again. So that all slots in there quite nicely. Happy with that? The body's back from the blasters. All this has got to be chopped out. So the one panel there is all clamped in place, and the next one is nearly ready.